Welcome to another whiteboard training video. I'm Isaiah Henkel with Cheeky Scientist, and today we're going to talk about what to do if your PhD career is not being supported. Okay, so if you are in academia, if you are a PhD student, if you are a postdoc, this is for you, especially for you. If you are going through a difficult time with your PI or an advisor or a thesis committee member, somebody on the administration, this is for you. If you're just not getting any support whatsoever, you've never had somebody from industry or somebody that's not a professor come to your university and speak to you about career options, this is for you also. Now, unfortunately, more and more PhDs, and if you look at the data, it's very surprising, they are going through very stressful situations. The number of clinically diagnosed anxiety conditions and depression conditions in academia, specifically in graduate schools, is through the roof. Okay, so that's why we're talking about this, because if you're in a difficult situation, you cannot see a way ahead in your career. You've been in a postdoc for X number of years. You've chased multiple postdocs. Maybe you've gone through a period of unemployment. Maybe you're about to graduate with your PhD and all you see in front of you is a low-paying postdoc. You've seen that non-faculty positions are increasing, part-time positions are increasing, but full-time faculty is going way down. Grant funding going way down. It's difficult. It's a very difficult time for PhDs in academia, and this causes stress. And it causes stress that will come from the top down, usually on top of you, whether it's your PI treating you poorly, refusing to support you, making you work more and more hours, not allowing vacation, etc. If you're in this kind of situation where you lack support, or maybe it's gone beyond lacking support to straight out abuse, these are the 5 things that you want to do. Number 1, you need to be vocal. This is very against everything that you will have been told as a PhD, everything that your brain will be telling you as a PhD, right? We're supposed to handle our problems ourselves. So when we face a problem, we tend to withdraw and we go inside ourselves. This is what I did. When I was finishing my PhD, I developed this very difficult relationship with my advisor. I made the mistake of telling him that I wanted to transition into industry and not be a professor. He immediately withdrew his support. He started doing all kinds of weird stuff, like he would turn off my fob key so I couldn't get into the labs on days when he was upset at me, just to make me look stupid and have to knock on the door to get let in. Little things like that. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what many people have had to go through, especially international PhDs who fear for getting kicked out of the country if their PI doesn't like them or makes them leave the lab. Okay, so the struggle is real. The worst thing you can do is isolate yourself, or let your PI or somebody else, some administration, somebody else in the lab isolate you. Don't do that. You might think you're taking the high road. You're not. You're taking the fool's road. You need to speak up about what's going on. You need to get help. Get somebody else to mediate the situation. This is a lot better than just being silent and taking it and letting somebody slowly isolate you more and more and force you out of the lab or force you out of your career. Okay, it's one thing not to get support, but it's another to let somebody else isolate you. Don't do this. Be vocal. Speak up right away. Speak up to others in the lab. Speak up to others around the lab. Talk as much as you can about the difficult situation. You're not going to get kicked out because of this. This is going to save you from getting kicked out. This is going to save you from being isolated and removed. So make sure that you speak up. Number 2, record the data. You keep a lab notebook, right? Or course materials for everything that you're doing as a TA or everything that you're doing in the lab. You need to do the exact same thing if you're facing a difficult situation in academia. If you're not getting support from your mentor or somebody who's supposed to be mentoring you, record that you're not getting support. Most graduate student handbooks, there's bylaws in these handbooks, and there's bylaws in the university handbooks and guidebooks that say that mentors have to mentor. For them to continue to be at the university as PIs and professors, even on the grants, they have to provide mentorship. And if you start recording how they're not providing mentorship, you're building a case. You want to build that case, because guess what? Very likely if you're in one of these difficult situations, a case is being built against you. So record the data. If the university has provided no training whatsoever for you in terms of your career development or in terms of careers outside of academia, record that with a date stamp. Put it into a document, right? Because sooner or later this is going to be called up. Somebody's going to say, well, where's your proof? Or they're going to say, well, we did this for you even though they did nothing. Or I was always there every week supporting your career when they did nothing. Record every single meeting with your PI, every single meeting that you have with any sort of university official or mentor. And be fair, but are they actually mentoring you? Are they actually helping you? This is very, very important. Number 3, take initiative. Don't be passive. Nobody's coming along to save you, okay? Don't fall into the trap of having a victim mentality, blaming academia, blaming your PI. Everybody could be against you. Even if that's true, it doesn't matter. Your career still falls on your shoulders. Just because you're labeled as a PhD student or a postdoc in a postdoc training position, it doesn't matter. You're an adult, okay? Act like it. Put your career in your own hands. Get the training you need to advance your career. Go out there and find it yourself. Invite speakers yourself. Take initiative. Again, don't be passive in your career. Number 4, escalate the situation vertically. This is the beauty of academia, right? You have to answer to your PI. You have to answer to maybe the head of your department. There's people that are technically above you in academia, but guess what? There's also people above those other people, right? So if you're in a difficult situation, if you're not getting support and your PI refuses to give you support, your thesis committee does, somebody else does, go above them. Go to the dean of the graduate school. That's literally what I had to do. We weren't getting any support in our careers. Our PI was just really losing it because of the stressful situation after the 2008 financial crisis. So it was really just abusing all of the postdocs and the PhD students in his lab. So a couple of us finally had to go to the dean of the college to get the situation fixed. And this goes back to my point, there's somebody above your PI. They have to answer to somebody. Just as nervous as you might feel going against your PI or having some tension between you and your PI is going to feel the same way with who they have to answer to, the dean in this case. So go above them, escalate the situation. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Number 5, be fearless. Okay, very often we see our PIs or thesis committee members or university officials as like the gods of our careers. They are the gatekeepers. They control everything. But they don't. In essence, they're really powerless, especially if you want to get a job outside of academia. They are completely powerless. Most of them know nobody outside of academia. They have no connections outside of academia. They can't even help you get a job outside of academia if they wanted to. Letters of recommendation from some lifetime academic do not matter in industry at all. So if you've made the decision to transition outside of academia, realize these people don't have any power. They are powerless. So you should be fearless. Don't be scared, okay? Just because you've been living in a bubble known as the lab or as your classroom or your department in academia where there's 5 or 10 people and everybody's scared of the figurehead of the lab or the figurehead of that department, you don't need to live this way. Don't be afraid. You don't deserve that. Remember your value as a PhD and realize that your career, it's in your hands and you don't need anybody in academia to help you get a job. And in fact, most lifetime academics in academia can't help you get a job outside of academia. So hopefully this helps you reframe things, especially if you're going through a stressful situation in academia. Don't be silent. Don't isolate yourself. Speak up. Remember your value as a PhD. Apply these 5 principles and you'll be in a much better position. If you have any questions on this, please ask them in a comment on this post. Until next week, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.